Hello, Steam It. I'm here with Stephen Kendal. My name's at Starkers, and we just wanted to touch on a subject that I was talking about in a blog recently. So if I show you this blog, this was it just before Steamfest. I was talking about how we can spread the steam around the platform, and kind of the perception of a lot of the whales and how the whales are curating for themselves. And over time, we like to hope, and we're trying to put programs in place to encourage whales to vote for more diverse and projects and spread out their wealth rather than focusing on their own curation. And in turn, that will create more value on the platform, and in turn that will boost the price of steam, thus boosting their holdings of steam. Now, I was speaking to Stephen Kendal a couple of days ago about a similar thing that he started to do, and it shows that as people get bigger in Steemit, they're starting to change the way, or at least it's in their benefit to change the way they vote. So if I could just hand over to you on that, Stephen, and if you can just explain to people what you're doing with your voting to encourage a sharing of the love of the steam power.
Absolutely. The presentation that you did back in Portugal at the Steamfest, Matt, was covered a part about how Wales should really start distributing their voting. And about 3 weeks ago, I've started to put up my blogs with a reduced voting. So effectively what I've been doing now, because my voting power is quite high, and my vest is quite high, and my steam power is quite high, I've been putting my blogs up now with no voting at all. And then once the blog is then issued, I then might offer maybe 40% of an upvote. And by reducing my self-voting to around about 40%, that then means I can then start giving more votes across more people. So what I've actually started to do is effectively spread the love, and I've actually been giving a lot more people more votes, primarily on the promo-steem tag. So effectively, by reducing my 100% down to 40%, that then leaves 60% that I can then give maybe 4 bloggers 15% voting, and it's still equivalent to the 100% that I was given. And of course, what I've been able to do is I use a great application, steamreports.com, where you can look at the voting and how much you've been voting other people. So I now use steamreports.com, and what I'm hoping to achieve now in the foreseeable future and indefinitely is effectively a 25% self-voting. And if you go to my particular report, steamreports.com, and my account, you'll see that there's quite a very high spread now of multiple accounts where effectively I'm spreading that love and spreading that voting. And I remember talking to you after the presentation, Matt, that really more bigger accounts now really should be doing this. So I'm glad you've picked up on it. I know there's been other people who've noticed that I'm spreading that love, and hopefully this short video that you've kindly put together will hopefully demonstrate that more people should do it, Matt.
Yeah. So let me just summarise, because I want to get this right in my head to make it clear for me, and then hopefully for other people in a nutshell. You're basically, instead of voting yourself 100% up as you issue the blog, which is what most people on Steemit do, you're voting yourself 40%, and then in your mind now you've got another 60% that you can give to other people, and as a result you can go and find other blogs, and now all of a sudden you've got essentially free votes that you can give out that you wouldn't have been able to give out before, and so you can go and vote for those people, and as a result those people have now got an interest in your blog, and there's more eyes drawn towards your blog, and in the long run now you've seen that that's actually resulted in more upvoting towards your blogs and more support for your blogs. Is that correct?
Absolutely. That's exactly it. Most people just use the system where effectively you put your blog up and it automatically gives you 100% upvote on your blog. Now, that's fine when you're starting off, and of course, it takes time to build up your steam power. But you get to a point where I've got 36,000 steam power, and my vote is worth, over $10. Well, I actually suddenly realised for the long term, to actually sustain growth of an individual account, I would much rather knock off the 100% self-voting, put the blog up, go back to the blog as though it was any other blog, and effectively then use your slider and bring it down. And I've decided to go for 40% because it just seems to be, it's less than half. It'll then allow me then to do more voting across the other blogs. And like you said, what actually is going to happen in time, more people are then drawn to my blog. And I think this is something that I really would like people to consider, rather than being very focused on giving themselves 100%. If you're over a certain, steam power and you do adopt this long term, you might be surprised. I mean, I've been doing this now for, I think it's probably about 3 to 4 weeks, and I've seen a real big change in the way that people interact with my blog. So I'm glad you've picked up on it, Matt.
Yeah, it's really nice to see, because it's something I was saying before Steamfest, and sort of talking about the way that the whales need to stop being so selfish and focusing on their own curation. And if they look after other people, the whole community will benefit. The steam will get spread across other people and allow them to create value in a better way. And that's essentially what you're doing here. And I think that's really, really commendable. And I like to think that other steam whales will also start to notice these things. And hopefully with the conversations that we're having here, we'll start to inspire other steam whales to start behaving that way. So thanks very much. I think we'll call it a quits there. It's already 6 minutes. We like to talk. So thanks very much, and we'll speak to you next time. See you all.
Cheers, guys. Thanks, Matt.
Bye-bye.